Hello guys, welcome back to channel. So today we'll discuss about the state design pattern. So a state design pattern is basically a behavioral design pattern that lets object to alter its behavior when any internal or internal state changes, right? So basically we it appears like object is changing in its class, right? So from outside, it seems like the object is changing in class, but it's not like that. It's just that the behaviors get changed on the basis of a state changes, right? So let's take an example. Let's have one class. Let's take an example, right? Quickly, we'll implement that example also. We have a state. In this state directory, we will have one state.h, and inside this state we can have two functions. So right, we will have virtual void. What can be the functions? So the function can be something like that, do action, right? Let's say we have the do actions, right? Okay, another function can be another function. What it can be? Let's say we to have get something like I'm getting the state, right? So it kind of get. Okay, Sims write everything. Now we can have another class which will be implementing my this the state class itself. So what can be the other class, right? Mm, let's do thing. Let's do one thing. Let's have another class at start state. I'm trying to starting some functionality, right? So that's the main agenda of this example, right? Okay. Okay. So let's first include our state, and we need to extend also, right? So okay. So let's extend do actions, and let's make it show. We are trying to show something by performing some action. Okay, let's have this void do action. Okay, and let's say it has some functionality. I'll write it down later, right? Another which is show, and I can write it here as starting. Okay. Okay, so let's add it here itself. I don't need to add in multiple classes. Okay, fine. Now we can have another class which will implementing the current state class. Let's have stop state attach, and it will be the same. It will have the same operations. Instead of a start, it can have stop state. Okay, and stopping. Cool. Now we have a start and a stop. I can have another class which will be context. I mean, how we are changing the behavior. I need some classes for that, right? So this is the behavior, context.h. Okay, so for context, I can have first of all a state. Okay, state I have, and I can implement the functionality over here. So before that, I need to initialize the state, right? So let's initialize this state by just making this state as null pointer. Okay, I'll try to initialize this state by having some functions. So for that, I can have this void set state. So for initializing this state, I need to have what? I need to have a argument for state, right? State, and I can have this state is equal to state as cool. Include what? State itself. Okay, so we are initializing a state also. We are setting the state as well. And is there anything I'm left? I'm I'm forgetting. So okay. Um, there is one function which is do action, but I have not performed any implementation. Like I'm not given any functionality to this do action. So what I can do, I can use this context with the help of to perform some actions. Fine. So let's have this. So we can just in- include here state, not state. I am in context. Okay. I hope it is fine. So context is good. So I'm looking for some another functionality also from context. I think state initialization is cool, but I also wanted to let's get this state as well, right? So let's have this state get state, fine, and I'll just return the status itself, fine. Okay. Um, and now I'm trying to implement here context, context. Fine. So let's have this context also here. Okay. So what I can do with context here, I can do some action. What action? I can just initialize my state over here, right? So with the help of a starter state. So let's do that. Uh, how can I do that? I will just call this function set a state. That's it. And in the argument parameter I can pass state, and what can be the state? I can just pass this as well, right? Even start state is also implementing state. That's why I can just use this context. Okay, context at set state, right? And I can just pass this. Hope it will work fine. I think it is good. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do changing the behavior. Earlier, the behavior was having the state do actions and performing action, but with the help of context, I am changing the behavior from a start state to stop state. I also implement it over here also. So, so yeah, that's what the agenda of this example. Fine. So fine, I guess. So before that, I'll just print something over here. What I can print. Uh, State starting. Okay, I think state starting is cool. Okay. Let's do that. Over here also, I can Okay, and I can just print state stopping. Fine, and I'll just call set state this. If I'm not wrong, set it as state. Right. Cool. So I have performed, I have like I have written the implementation. With the help of context, I'm changing the state from this behavior to this behavior. So let's have the client class. Look, main.cpp in the main. Okay, so for that I can include what I can include. I can include context. Okay. Else I can have another class which will be start the state, stop the state. That's fine. Okay, I can have. Okay, so let's initialize the context first, city. Okay, and for start state, let's have a, but do we really need a start state object? Because anyway, we are initializing state over here, context, right, inside that. So let's do one thing. Let's, okay, so we can have state, stop state as well. I mean, start. I'm not wrong if, okay, okay, fine. What I can do here, I can call ct dot set state. Fine. Uh, okay. Or else we can do one thing. I'll just call do actions. It anyway it will set the state by using the context of the set the state. So in this way, a behavior can be updated. So let's do that. It do action, and I'll just pass a context itself. That will do my job. Ct. Okay, and I can also try to show this behavior, but I'm not gonna do this with just the state behavior itself. What I can do, I'll try to, since it has started this state of my context here, so I'll try to call this state, and since it started this with the help of this state, and I will basically get this state from here, and I'll call show. That's it, nothing much. So what I'll do, I'll do just context ct dot get is it get no, yeah, I'll just call get state, and when I got this get state, it anyway it will be returning the state itself, so I'll just call show. Fine, and I guess everything will be fine. Show. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. First I can have pragma once. Cool. What this term is include itself, including itself. How come this include itself? Started state must have the context. Okay. And what about the state? Nothing but okay. Okay, so for that I can have this context not action from here to here. again there is some issue, I guess. In SS, okay, well, fine, fine, fine. I hope there is no issue as fine. So let's try to compile this. So cd state. Okay, I got some error. Context has not been declared. Where it has not been declared? Okay, so it's not been declared over here. I guess I'm not doing anything wrong, I guess. So let's do one thing. Let's initialize the class. Yeah. So it will initialize class class name. Again, this again issue. No matching function to call to start state view action. Cd do action. Cd. Okay, it is for the main class. Context exists. Okay, we can pass ampersand help. Okay. See, I got this output starting state, state starting, and I mean state starting and a starting. So what happened? What happening? Actually, I have made an object of context fine, and also context for the start state fine. Now, what I am trying to do instead of calling that state, I mean calling that show directly, I'm trying to uh, do indirect way, changing the behavior of the object. So what I'm trying to do, the behavior of the st state is to um, do actions and show nothing much. But I have used this state to initialize my context object, right? So with the help of set state, I have done that. Okay. Actually, yeah, with the help of do action, I have tried to set the state of the context. Since I have initialized the state, I'm trying to get the state from the context. Even though I can do that with directly with the state, start the state itself, but I'm trying to do with the help of context itself. So I tried to get this state, and getting this state means what? Getting this object of this class, and when I got this object of the class, I just called the show. So that's what I have tried, and I got the output. So hope you liked and try to understand the state design pattern. And yeah, see you next time.